Hi, Dr. Shakov here at the Youth Fountain, and I'm excited to get to do another injection session with my beautiful model, my wife, Dr. Rada. And today we're going to be using a couple of new products that we're going to be incorporating into our practice. It's RHA. This is a absolutely great filler. It's made better than the other filler products. It mimics more of a natural hyaluronic acid as opposed to some of the other popular fillers that are available on the market. It's less cross-linked, it's stronger, it's more durable. And,
it's resilient.
And resilient, exactly. So it allows us to get more with less, and not only that, with facial movements, some of the other RHA products are good for that, especially when we're doing nasolabial folds or high movement areas like the marionette lines. But it's very versatile in terms of the different RHA products that are available. There's currently in the US 2, 3, and 4. And with the RHA 2, it has a high degree of stretch. So what that means is if you have a lot of movement in an area, it'll stretch and then it'll go back to its natural form. And it has quite a long-lasting effect as well. So for today, what we're going to be doing is I'm going to be enhancing Dr. Rada's jawline, and I'm going to be using two different RHA products. I'm going to be using RHA 4 for the more posterior, where I'm going to be placing it deep, and then the RHA 3 is going to be more superficial here to just give a nice jawline contour, and also to make sure that the jawline is more of a feminine type jawline, because men and women do have quite distinct anatomy and how the jaw is done. Whereas with women, they'll have typically what's called a gonial angle. It's a lot wider and softer, and men will have that more sharp, meaning where it's at the angle of the mandible. It's right at that point. With men, it'll just go more like the 90 degrees, and with women, it'll be more like 110 to 130 degrees. That way, it's softer. So I'm going to go ahead and get started. First thing I'm going to be doing is I've already marked off Dr. Rada here, and I'm going to be putting the first injection. It's a little bolus. It's going to be put right at the angle. I feel a little discomfort here. And so this one goes right down to the bone. Feel, and I just give a very small amount. Okay.
Mm-hmm. FYI, no numbing. No.
Yeah,
numbing.
she's tough. She's been through this enough times already. So here you can already see I put a very small amount, and you can see how it already actually changes. Maybe not so much because you don't have the side view here, but it already changes the way her jaw is contoured. So I'm actually going to go on the other side, do the same thing, and then I'm going to use the cannula. We'll work on the posterior aspect.
And isn't it true that if we are able to contour the jaw, that actually improves the appearance of the chin and makes it look less double or triple chinny?
Yeah, so the reason for doing this, exactly like Dr. Rada said, is we're creating a contour effect over here, so that way we could distinguish the jaw from the neck. If you can't see the two difference, I heard it long ago, somebody described it as a chin-neck, where the chin and the neck, basically there's no difference between the two. So what we're doing here, it's what I like to call is actually like a camouflage procedure, because what we're doing is camouflaging the natural jawline that the patients have by putting the filler in there in order to give it more of a chiseled kind of appearance. And now once we put the product in the correct placement, that's going to give the chin more proportion with the face, as well as the mandible. Okay, so again, here I put a little bit, and it already makes a difference on her jawline. With RHA 4, the product really creates a lot of volumization, so you just need a small amount in order to get a really great result on it. Now I'm going to be switching over to a cannula. And here I'm actually using a larger gauge cannula. It's 21. So this one absolutely improves safety quite a bit.
Yes, this is like a resuscitated needle.
Yeah, with it being a 21 gauge cannula, the needle has to be at least the same size.
Things I do for science.
A little bit of a pop there. That's how I know that I'm in the right depth. And I'm always feeling for where the end of the cannula is. Okay, and I just apply a little bit of product and just watch how it raises up. Shape developing here. And then with the good thing about the RHA product is it molds really nicely. I got the cannula in, and there we go. I pop it in deep. So what I'm doing here is I'm bringing it along the mandible. You get some popping as it moves through that deep tissue. So just lateral to the pre-jowl sulcus there. And then here I'm just injecting and withdrawing at the same time. And I'm also doing some anti-grade injections. The important thing is that you're just moving with the needle as you're placing the product or cannula. Right, so far we've done about 0.8, and you can see it's not, okay, turn a little bit. So here you can see how much more definition her jaw has. These are the exact areas that I've done the injection. So I'm gonna do the other side, and then I'll finish up with doing the anterior part of the jawline here. So now I'm on my second syringe of the RH4. I'm going to do the anterior part of the jawline. So what I'm doing as I'm injecting is I'm actually holding pressure below her mandible in order to get more shape. And then I'll go and do an antegrade as well as a retrograde injection here. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
Real nice contouring here.
It's gonna look even better after my cool sculpting chin results.
That's right. So this is looking really good. Okay, so now I'm gonna switch to RH3, where I'm gonna now work on the pre-jaw sulcus here, anterior to that, in order to give that more definition. Fortunately, requires another one of these sticks here. And in this one, we go a little bit more superficial than we do with the posterior part of the jaw. Same thing. Hold a little pressure so I can guide where the product goes. I'm doing a retrograde and antegrade. And then I watch to get some visual feedback that I have just the right kind of shaping. Oh, it's looking really good. And what's great again about this product is it molds really nice. I don't even think I have to do much molding because with the really good jawline here, go ahead and just start turning it to the side.
So if patients have like events, big events or whatever coming up, when would you say the ideal timeline for them to get injected is?
So anytime we're doing, injections, there's always a risk for bruising. Even though I'm using a cannula for these techniques, where I'm putting the cannula is low risk for bruising, but the initial puncture site, there is a chance for bruising. But the good thing is once the puncture sites heal up, you could put makeup. But I would still say plan for about at least 2 weeks prior to any big event doing the injection, because the last thing you want to do is have bruising there and then have to explain what's going on. You know, you don't want to look like that you've been abused by somebody here. So that's the best way, is to time it out a couple of weeks. All right, thank you.